How's it going, everyone? Liam Catterson here. We're on episode number 9 of the 100th season 4, which is called DNR. Looking forward to this. We've now got ourselves a juicy prospect with the real shelter. The first one that Bellark and Jahar went to wasn't really the right one, was it? I guess it wasn't the best shelter as we saw all those skeletons. But we found a sustainable one. And hopefully there's going to be no kerfuffles with lists and who's going to get left out to die and all of that. Because, yeah, that wouldn't be too good, would it? So, yeah, considering we had that problem with the whole Alpha Station, it's so funny. Asgeda was going to come to the Ark to seek shelter from the storm, and now it seems like, well, hopefully everyone from Arcadia will be going to Polis to seek shelter. It's so funny, isn't it? It just bounces back, doesn't it? But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what this episode has on offer in terms of everything. I mean, I'm assuming we're going to be focusing away from Becca's lab because the radiation thing is busted and we can't conduct any more tests really unless something unless she's hiding something else, considering, she had a rocket. So, yeah, unless there's a backup somewhere, I think we're going to be moving away from Becca's lab. Considering this is now groundbreaking news, and with the fact that the storm is coming within 10 days, you want to get everyone to Polis right now. So, yeah. I'm excited, though, with what this episode might have on offer, considering, like I said in the last episode, Season 4 has absolutely been stellar. I've absolutely loved it, and it might be slightly better than Season 2 at the moment. That could just keep on continuing to rise, considering how amazing Season 4 has been. Not just with the story itself, the character interactions. It's just been a blast this season. But yeah, this is episode number 9 of Season 4. The full reaction will be on Patreon. Looking forward to this. Let's go.
Don't worry, they might ditch him, but I'm too awesome.
There you go.
Congratulations, Amori.
Can't
You
leave
get to
Murphy
live in a hole in
behind.
the ground for 5 years. Thanks for playing.
Come on, at least we get to live.
Said the cockroach to the raven.
Systems check.
Oof, calling him a cockroach?
What?
Orbital port systems online.
You don't hear that?
Oh, is she having another
We're
stroke
gonna see your
thing?
kid now.
Oh,
I'll be left in the
no.
office.
Raven.
Oh! I'm loving how the actress
Tell me
keeps
that it's none of my
returning.
business, but why live in a hole in the ground when you have a perfectly good rocket?
Oh, no. Don't encourage her. Oh, no. Raven. No, 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 no. Oh, shit.
Some of the water will go to the hydroponic farm. Isn't that right, Mr. Green?
Most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
Oh, yes,
There will be
save.
plenty of
Nice
hard work to go
save.
around. But together, we have struggled. And together, we will rise.
From the
Pack your
ashes.
things. Just what you can carry. Okay. We leave at first light.
Thank you.
Oh, everyone's praising him. He deserves it. We're not having any of this. Shit.
Welcome back to Polis, my king.
Ah!
How do you know?
I just found out.
Just telling the truth.
Thanks for trying to warn me.
This doesn't have to turn into
Ah, nice.
only if you
Nice.
Your people betrayed me, Clark. What would you have me do?
Live?
Yeah, that seems like a
Radiation's
better
gonna be
option.
here in 6.
Reincarnation? You believe in that?
Or afterlife.
The crops, they die in winter. And then return in spring.
Yeah,
Most
but
people
we
don't know
plants.
when they're
We not
going to
plants, should I say.
That bunker gives us a chance for a future.
I know it's hard, Harper,
I hope you'll change your mind.
Oh. Why we're breaking Monty's heart?
There's the door. No one here will judge you if you leave.
I mean, this is optional, I guess, at the end of the day.
Okay then. I guess we have nothing to lose.
No, we want... Harper, Jasper.
You can't
I
ignore me
want them
forever,
to.
Raven.
I want them to go.
Then I guess we ride out the storm in the lighthouse bunker. For 5 years. We'll starve. Who needs food when you have love, right?
Aww. You just gotta love them two are just like loving it up whilst Raven is literally talking to herself.
All my enemies in one place.
Who are they?
Sounds like a nice birthday surprise.
The Tree Crew Alliance.
She was supposed to be alone.
What fun would that be?
I just love how they're like.
Our people. You burned our villages, yet you have the nerve to come here in the name of peace.
Not peace, survival. You tried to take this bunker for yourself, yet here I am, willing to talk.
The Tree Crew Alliance holds.
But let's try and have bygones be bygones.
We could share it equally. All of the clans can survive.
We don't need this. We just need to be happy. Awesome.
You're right. She would have. And if she were here, the clans might actually have obeyed her. But seeing that there's no commander to rule us,
It's open season.
war it is.
Clans are killing each other. No. But a commander could.
Yes, and she's got Nightblood.
Of course a commander could.
Eee!
Unfortunately, we need a nap leader for that. Make me the commander.
Let's do this! Is this the same song that was on Spider-Man, the PS4 one? Yeah, it is!
How many gas canisters do we have?
You can just imagine
Can't be
Pete
serious.
putting on
In
his...
that weather, we beat the gas by using water. Jasper will be
I'm
ready
distracted.
Slow down.
Guy, there's a way to live.
for this. Are they?
That's just it. We don't think it's a way to live.
Oh,
go.
no.
Please.
We wasted time. Set the
I feel
charge.
so bad for Monty.
Put them down to die. The difference now is that they have a choice. And so do you.
What are you talking
Holy
about?
shit!
This is what they want.
They're wasted. They don't know what they want.
Jasper's been like that for a long time.
We can't save them if they don't want to be saved.
He did something that looked like certain death, and now they have a choice. Damn, Bellamy with the wisdom,
If
but...
Octavia was in there, would you let her stay?
If Octavia was in there,
Can't save someone who doesn't want to be...
Please. You don't want to do this.
Just trying to push the Sky Ripper out of her.
Just walk away.
Take him out!
Look, we tried dealing with this with peace, so if you're gonna... This is on you. There's the fighting spirit from Octavia, and... I mean, to be fair, it was their fault. Man. I mean, it's sad that they've brought the Ripper out of her again, but...
At least until we know who the nap leader is.
Please. Because he was there. Oh, this is bad for you, Echo. This is bad. This is bad. It's good for us.
Take care, Nagyon up.
What is this? One header is no nightbleed.
Lies upon lies.
Ah, Rowan!
How it is your daughter became a nap leader.
Aww.
Through science.
Aww. Damn it.
You made her a Nightblood?
Damn it.
Yes.
If anyone can be one champion per clan, one death instead of thousands, and whoever wins gets the bunker.
Oh, shice.
Gonna we now?
Oh my god. Well,
Whatever the hell you want.
oh, I don't want Jasper to. I swear, Jasper better have a last-minute bloody decision like there's no tomorrow, because there won't be a tomorrow, but...
I'm glad you stayed.
Don't be a buzzkill, alright?
It's just clinging on that final hope.
I'm sorry for doing this to you, Raven.
This is not your fault, Murphy.
Oh, man.
I could deal with losing my leg, but
Your mind is
it's
your...
in my mind.
Is your... gold mine, or whatever. I love the fact that he's
Survive.
apologised as well.
That's what cockroaches do, right?
Oh, she can win this. She can win this. The prodigal daughter has returned.
I'm here for the war.
She could win this shit. Surely. I mean, she's a badass. That's all you really need to say. That was a really, really good episode. And it made you feel sad for a lot of scenes. Especially that beautiful scene when Bellamy was saying goodbye to Jasper and Harper. I have a bit of hope, especially since Monty's staying behind and he's got one of the rovers. I have a bit of hope that Jasper, maybe he'll have to be knocked out or whatever, but I do see Harper coming, stepping into the light, funnily I say that, and realizing that there is more to fight for, and I can't really blame, like, through what everyone's gone through, I can kind of see why they are a bit, I'm sick of this, so come at me, death, and all of that. And I have to say, it was really, really great focusing on that side of the story where we had a few people who chose to stay behind. And that is the key thing, isn't it? The fact that they chose to stay behind. Because Bellamy pointed out a really, really amazing thing, which was about the fact that you sent them to the ground to die. There was no choice involved with that. You sent them. You had no certainty that we would survive this. And now we have a choice. So I really, really loved that. I really, really loved the fact that Bellamy was common sense in this factor. I mean, he doesn't like it as much as the next person, but he understands from where Kane is coming from when he says, you can't save people who don't want to be saved. And I really, really love how that message came back and played a big, big importance in terms of, okay, how are we going to settle this decision, considering how Jasper, Harper, and Riley and all of them, they were so adamant on staying behind and watching the fireworks, basically. And it was sad. You don't want Jasper to perish. You don't want Harper to perish. This is the thing, though. There are people who are staying behind that you love so much. Raven, especially, which we'll get onto in a minute. And it sucks seeing them in this predicament, but I guess at the end of the day, it's their choice, and it is heartbreaking. It is heartbreaking because you don't want to lose these fantastic characters, but yeah. But like I said, that scene where Bellamy said goodbye to Murphy, it was I was sad because I didn't want this to be the way, but it was beautiful as well at the same time. So yeah, same situation. We'll glance to Raven as well, as she came to terms with death, as well as the fact that as her brain has now gotten worse, it seems, which does suck. And well, first off, I can't blame Imori whatsoever for thinking they're not going to come back for us. They're not going to come back for us. I mean, her brain's gone, and with us two, yeah, I can't blame her regarding what happened in the last episode. So, yeah, that was sad to acknowledge, but understandable, wasn't it? Yeah, the Raven scenes were heartbreaking as well, especially her scenes with Murphy when Murphy apologized, which I thought was really, really beautiful, considering the fact this is the last time in their... I have hope that Raven will be saved. I have hope that everyone's who resisted going will be saved, because I don't want to lose these characters, and my heart is growing a bit, yeah, at the prospect that we could have an emotional goodbye to some amazing characters, and I don't want that, but we could have that, and I'm not ready. I am not ready for it whatsoever. So I have hope. And I know the show is hell-bent on taking away hope and all of that, but just let me have this. Oy. But yeah, that scene where Murphy said his goodbyes to Raven was heartbreaking, especially when he like moments after he saw Raven talk to Becca, albeit talk to herself in his perspective, and it was crushing as well. But I love the apology that he gave off as she's ready to ascend into space, because why not? I mean, if you're gonna go out in style, I guess. But I just hope there is another way, because, I mean, I know Raven's head is a bit more damaged, but I do hope there is a way to save these characters, because I don't want to lose them, but who knows? Was it me as well? Or is Jackson and Miller... I'm, like, yeah, you get the idea. I was like, are they flirting? Are they flirting? Which leads me to ask... I'm dying. Great, I'm dying. What happened to Brian? That's what I was going to ask. I was thinking, wait, wasn't Miller with Brian? So I'm guessing something happened and now Jackson and Miller are like, which was nice. I was like, this came out of nowhere. So yeah, I was like, I have no idea. But it seemed to be that way. It seemed to be like a little bit of flirting, from my perspective. And I was like, okay. Because I was still thinking, Miller's with Brian still, isn't he? So, yeah. But yeah, that was really, really sad, to see, Raven's health deteriorate even further, and, her coming to terms with death. And then Octavia's story was, just dying once more, Liam. Octavia's story was really, really heartbreaking as well, considering she did her best to move away from her Skyripper, character, and, it just took 3 assholes to reignite that. But in a sense, I'm kind of glad as well, because now we've got our champion in our fight we're going to have, which I have a feeling that Sky Crew will win, in terms of the whole the battle that we will have to determine who is going to get the luxury of being in that bunker thing. But I have a feeling that Sky Crew are going to turn around and be the better people and say, guess what, you all get to stay and all of that if you want to. So yeah, considering Tree Crew is like, yeah, we're not having Ice Nation here and then Ice Nation with Tree Crew, and it's like a big kerfuffle. So Sky Crew would win, ultimately lay down the house rules, and yeah, that's basically it. So I have a feeling we're going to have a comfortable win now that Octavia has strolled in. But yeah, her story was heartbreaking as well, considering she came to terms with who she was, and those three assholes just had to ruin. I mean, they did start it, but like I said, at the same time, it's so convenient that Octavia is here in that time of need, considering Bellamy and Clark can't really do any. They're not. Nobody is as skilled as Octavia when it comes to grounder weapons, and they need this at the end of the day. So, I think this is very, very fortunate that they did have to aggravate it, but at the same time, your heart does feel for Octavia, considering she tried her best to move away from who she used to be. So, yeah. And it seems like her and Ilian are a thing now. So, I did say I was surprised, but I'm okay with it. It was just, it's just surprising that he was the rebound, I guess, like, to have Octavia feel something more than the pain, and now they've built upon it, so yeah. But yeah, I felt so bad for Octavia, and it seems like she can't run away from this, which is heartbreaking, but yeah. And then we got the Clark situation as well, after there was a little bit of a kerfuffle with Tree Crew and Ice Nation at the start, especially with the fact that Tree Crew held the, I guess, they held onto the bunker and said, yeah, as Gedda, not having this, but Rowan can stay, which your heart was screaming so much for. I mean, it was never going to happen because Rowan looks out for his own people and all of that, and yeah, he's not going to back down whatsoever. So, but your heart was still be like, forget all of them, forget Echo, she's a bitch, forget everyone, and live it up with Tree Crew. But that was never going to happen, but you just had hope. Same with something else that happened, which we'll get to in a minute as well with Clark. But yeah, it was never going to happen. But it was a decent attempt though. Although I will say I am glad that Rowan early in this episode, when the kerfuffle happened with Tree Crew and Ice Nation, he understood that Clark wasn't trying to bullshit about not knowing all of this, and had a bit of faith in her. And I think that really, really does help with the fact that they are growing a bit of like episode by episode, I see a bit of respect ability going down. Not just that though, but the last episode discussion really helps as well. So I think that relationship is improving moment by moment, and I really, really love the fact that Rowan didn't basically be like, so, what bullshit do we have here, Clark? Like, with what just happened with that ambush that we had earlier on. So I really, really, loved that so much. But what I did love so much was the fact that Clark proposed the idea of becoming commander, which I said could happen in the last episode, and it nearly did. Now, don't get me wrong, I love the freaking idea of Clark being a commander, but at the same time, it is a bit wrong, isn't it? I mean, it is a juicy idea, and it's one that is like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. But, it's not like, you understand why Clark was doing it. She didn't want this, war, with Tree Crew, especially with the Endo Days coming. She didn't want this to escalate any further, so she did what she, and Rowan sees that as well, but he doesn't see this being the right option, and I do have to agree as well, especially with how it like, the Grounders are really, really sensitive with the whole Nightblood situation. It's a really, really delicate process in terms of deciding who's going to be the next commander. And then Clark tries to cheat the system through science. And, I mean, to be fair, science did start off the whole thing, didn't it? But, you get the idea. It's been passed down generations and all of that, and yeah, you understand why Rowan was a bit like, yeah, that's not happening and all of that. So, yeah. But not only that, though, but I think it goes back to Indra's comment as well about Lexa wouldn't want any of this, sure, but she's not here anymore. And then Clark decides, okay, well, I'm going to execute basically what she would have done. And it's that, she has that thing in her head where it's like, what would Lexa do? And she needs to be her own person and all of that, I feel. It's okay to still be attached to Lexa, don't get me wrong, but, Lexa is her own person and Clark, I mean, we already knew with season 1, where we didn't even know who Lexa was, that Clark can make great leadership skills. And I think this is the time where, you know, her leadership skills, is put to the test, because she's choosing Lexa over her own natural instinct, I believe, because I think it took Idra's comment to be like, okay, well, I'm doing this, rather than basically leaving it as it, because it did rattle a few jimmies, didn't it, with the fact that it was, well, Rowan revealed this was done in science and all of that, because it's not natural and all of that. But you can understand why Clark did it at the end of the day still. But I do think there was a bit of inspiration of Lexa to encourage Clark to do this. But you gotta say that the prospect of Clark becoming a commander was absolutely juicy and all of that. But, yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, she might think, okay, well, this is good. Lexa would do this, and I think this would be a good idea. Not to say that, like, well, to be fair, I don't know if, well, we don't know, like, without the influence of Lexa, what Clark would have decided, but I do think that comment from Indra did help matters, but also, you got to consider, as well as the fact Clark has a good heart, and so she might have done this, whether Indra made that comment or not. I do, in my heart, I do feel like this was heavily influenced, with what would WWLD, is it? What would Lexa do? Yeah, I do think that was a bit of influenced. But at the same time, I do think that that Clark would have also would have done this even with. Well, I don't know. She would want to do her best to make sure the war doesn't escalate and all of that. But I don't know. I just feel like that comment kind of sparked some kind of fire in Clark's brain. So that's what I would have. I mean, I could be wrong and all of that, but that's just me. Because we know how much she means the world to Clark, so yeah. But I mean, I can understand why Rowan was a bit, yeah. So yeah, it was a really, but it was still a juicy prospect, wasn't it? I mean, I don't know, like I'm sure there would have been a lot of people chomping at the bit about Clark potentially becoming a commander. But like I said, this is a really, really sacred thing for the Grounders, and they feel like this, especially under, well, not just the fact that Sky Crew, a non-Grounder organization, is a commander, but the fact that it's done through unnatural means is a bit worrying-some. So, yeah, fight it is. And like I said, you can understand why people would be a bit about it. It's very unnatural. So, yeah, I mean, I understand why Clark did what she did. Because I think, I do think she would have, like, either way, whether Indra made that comment or not, I do think she would have, I don't know, probably because she knows the situation at Polar, she knows it's without a true leader and all of that, and now she's got Nightblood, so she's not dumb, she's intelligent, so she can, I don't know, add the math together, by herself, but I don't know, I do feel like, we know that Clark learned a lot from Lexa, and and that's why I'm feeling like that comment had some kind of suggestion in Clark's head, like it kind of pushed it. I think she would have made that decision ultimately, but I think that comment from Indra pushed it, if you know what I mean. So yeah, but yeah, I really am looking forward to seeing where this fight does go down. Like I said, I think Octavia's got this in the bag. But we'll just have to wait and see, because I do have a feeling that Sky Crew are not going to be merciless and be like, okay, so you guys can wither, bye, toodles, and all of that. I do think they're going to have a bit of heart, and they're going to settle this shit with Tree Crew and Asgetta once and for all by laying down some house rules once Storm arises and all of that. So otherwise, that's the only feasible way I see this going, because I do have a feeling, I don't know, Tree Crew do have an alliance with Sky Crew as it's been reconfirmed, but I don't know, I mean, Asgetta, I do think Asgetta might be a bit more stronger than Tree Crew. I think they are a bit more brutal, and that could be a disadvantage. So that's why I think, especially with Octavia, Sky Crew might have this in the bag. But who knows? Yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing where things go with this battle. So we'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, great episode. Sad at certain areas, and Clark. Like I said, though, that was awesome, though. I was rooting for it, but at the same time, I knew it was a bit wrong because, well, it wasn't wrong-ish. You knew what she was doing, and you were rooting for it, but you knew this was not. I have a feeling you knew this was. Well, I had a feeling that I knew this was not going to sit down too well, because Rowan was there. Rowan knew how she became Nightblood, and in his heart he would have been like, hang on, that's not right. So yeah, but it was still awesome stuff to see, because I don't know, I think the prospect of Clark becoming a commander, even though it's wrong, it's right, if you know what I mean. I have no idea, but yeah, I really, really loved that so much. So yeah, I will see you guys next time. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. You can check my videos on the right if you want to check out more of my content. You can also subscribe to my Media Pizza channel if you want to. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. Hope you guys take care, and I will see you guys next time. Toodles!